Hello and welcome to the Bourbon Bear, and as always we have Bondo on the show for Bondo's Bets, but Bondo brought a guest today. Why don't you introduce him?
This is the chairman, the mayor, and the chairman of the board of Peru, LaSalle, Peru, John Vizzetti.
Hello, everybody.
He got dressed up for the occasion. We told him he didn't have to, but he's got the shades on. He's a bear expert from Peru. And we'll see how smart he is.
Well, and we got to get this episode underway because Bondo is in the bear suit and that thing is about 100 degrees. But kicking it off, though, Bears-Packers at home last week. Instant thoughts about losing that game by 1 point.
Well, it's a typical bear game. We're used to it.
You're already sweating. I told you. It's hot in that thing.
You're starting to stink, too.
Well, this thing has been cleaned in years. But, right when they lined up for that field goal, I knew something bad was going to happen. And it's sort of like the Washington game. We knew something was up, and it did. And then, being a Bear fan, we're used to it. It's a situation, again, where, I don't blame Cairo Santos. I mean, he's been great for a long time. I go back to the offensive line. The Bears, haven't drafted any linemen. We talked about this at the beginning of the year. My 9-8 prediction is starting to look at 8-9 now. But, you got to build from the offensive and defensive line. And if they don't start doing that, it's going to be another long season.
Well,
next year.
One thing on that game, though, and John, you might want to chime in here, but there was a call. The Bears made a complaint to the NFL regarding the fact that you can't rush the center on a field goal, and they clearly did. And that was a big issue that they took with the NFL. That should have been a 15-yard penalty, how you look at it. That's the new rule. It is what it is. Yeah. Should have been called back. But, John, we win that game. Is there still hope for the season? Because now we're sitting at 4-6, and it's like, ugh.
4-6 could easily be 6-4.
Yep.
Possibly even 7-3. Couple things go our way earlier in the season. Bears got a long road ahead, man. The O-line's coming back this week, hopefully at 100%, right? We should be near 100%.
The only one that's confirmed out is Bates this week. So, I mean, that's, he's not been the best anyway.
I wouldn't include him in that
Just
anyway.
having your tackles back, though, is just huge. So that's the good part of it. But now, turning it into this week coming up against Minnesota, we are without Jaquan Brisker back on the IR. Is his season just over at this point? Heads are a weird thing to mess with.
Well, I can attest to that with John here. His head's kind of messed up, but having Brisker back last week was so exciting, and it was, I think he's the glue on the defensive backs. I've been saying that all year, and then he's missed 3 games prior to that.
Yeah, he was out since the Carolina game all the way up until, so it might be more than 3. I think it was about 4 or 5.
Might have been 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, but it's a situation.
Bondo, you got to take it off. You're going to be sweating your ass off.
He's
already dripping.
Stinking, sweating.
I'm a Bear fan.
You got to go to a charity event. You're going to be like a dog out there.
All right. Maybe they'll let me leave early or something. I don't know. But, again, going back to Brisker, it's he is the glue in that defensive backfield, in my opinion. And he also, he's the best headhunter out there. He can knock passes down. He can intercept. Defensive line disappointed, very disappointed. Is Dexter? He's okay this week, right?
Yeah, he should be in.
Yeah, and Sweat's had a bad ankle since week 2.
No, it was. I think it was the Commanders game. Was when he hurt.
Was it the Commanders game?
Yeah, because he got pulled out of that game.
Well, my let me see my sources here. My sources say week 3, but what does Luke know?
Well, John, getting some new perspective on the defense too.
Yeah.
I don't think they played that bad. I mean, giving up 20 points in the NFL is pretty good still. I mean, you're playing the Green Bay Packers. They've got a good receiving core, a good run game. I don't think they looked that bad, but it's just almost like we can't deliver in the moments that we have to. And giving up that touchdown to go down 19-20 is that prime example.
Yeah. It's going to be a big week. JJ's rolling into town.
Yep.
Sam Darnold's going to look for him.
Oh, boy.
See what the wind's like tomorrow. Bears pass D is much better than their run D.
Oh, agreed.
I think they're ranked 9th on the pass D. I mean, they're doing pretty good without Brisker. That's going to hurt a little bit, but we'll see what the.
You didn't even have to look at your sheet. I had that written down. We're 9th in the pass, 13th in yards per game across the NFL, 22nd in the run, and 7th in points per game. So overall, that defense is still almost top 10 of the league right there. Looking at all that together,
and look at your neat notes real quick. Aren't they ranked number 1 with the end zone scoring?
They are.
They were
red zone defenses
in red zone efficiency last week. I don't know if it's still carried over.
No, they're still number 1.
They're still number 1. Okay,
My sources chimed in.
And even 25 sacks. That's 15th in the league. So all defensive stats.
Yeah, those are respectable, right?
And that's where I want to kind of go to the offense now a little bit. So the offense obviously comes into play when it comes to takeaway. So we're +9 in the turnover differential. That's 3rd in the NFL, if you believe it or not.
Right?
And we're still 4-6. How does that make sense to you guys? That's where you win the game. Is that turnover battle?
That's where you win the game. We'll see what the new OC does with Roshan and Swift tomorrow.
Yep. Because Swift was a full participant, so I think he's going to play for sure.
We'll see how he handles that. And then our receiving core, there's going to be a lot of checkdowns tomorrow, I think.
I'm fine with that, though.
Yep.
That's good.
Yep, kicking RPO. His pass protection is getting a little better because he's throwing the ball a little quicker the last couple of games. So look for those checkdowns. Maybe we'll roll commit into the game
Not
finally.
Not even that, though. And I know we don't want Caleb to be a scramble-only quarterback, but he was using the scramble effectively. He wasn't just locked into, I have to throw and make that deep shot. I think it was probably 5 great QB, just get the first down, run up the middle. I'm all for that. And I think Thomas Brown, our new offensive coordinator, said that's what you got to do. Like, if no one's open, there's no more of this just sit in the pocket and take that sack. Go do something.
Look at the camera. Tell me to look in the camera.
Look in the camera. Again, with this, at least the offense looked pretty good last week. It looked a lot better than the prior guy. But seeing Waldron, and I was talking to my buddy in Arizona last week, and Mike, I'm sorry, Mike, you were 1 and 2. You're never going to be invited back.
Oh, yeah, you got Mike's picks right here.
Yeah, Mike was 1 and 2. He's never going to be invited back. But, we're talking, and the Seattle fans down there in Arizona said they were so thankful that we got Waldron off their hands, and I never knew that. I thought that they liked him in Seattle.
Jackson Smith and Najigba had said he was just not a fan of him. That was known before, but the Bears still went with it. What are you going to do?
Well, we could have got the guy in Detroit. We could have got the guy in Washington. I mean, we had several possibilities. I'm sorry, the guy in Washington, the old coach of the Cardinals. What's his name again?
Oh, the college guy.
The college guy.
What's his name? Kingsbury.
I thought he would have been a great choice, but I'm looking forward. I know we're talking offense a little here, but I think Minnesota is a run-happy team because Darnold hasn't had. He's had 3 lousy games.
Okay? He has, but JJ and him are on another level. JJ's the number 2 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, but don't you think we're going to double team him?
You know how the Bears run their defense? I don't think so. And I think they're going to play him opposite of Johnson because Johnson only covers 1/2 the field the whole time. That's what I'm a little nervous about. Stevenson seems to have an issue when it comes down to, number one, what he get in his head mentally, and I think JJ's going to get in there. But I do agree that they still have other good receivers, and I think the Bears' pass defense, to your point, is elite. So not too worried about the pass, but the run is always going to be a question.
Well, but their running back is the guy who used to be on Green Bay. And I think he, what's his name? Oh, shoot.
No, I'm drawing a blank, too.
Yeah, no, that's all right. You know who I'm talking about? The guy that used to run for Green Bay.
This is your show, man. I'm here drinking your beer.
No, the true colors come out. You start pointing fingers. It's sort of like
Who are you talking about, Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs is on Green Bay. It's on the guy that Green Bay's old running back is on Minnesota.
Oh, Green Bay's old running back.
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
Jones. Thanks. Good. And I really feel that Darnold, who was supposed to be the second string quarterback to start the year, J.J. McCarthy was supposed to be number 1, and he had a great first 5 games, but the last 3 games he's had 5 picks.
Yep. Interceptions are a problem.
And he had 3 of the first 6 games or 5 games. So I think that's where we're gonna make a move. And I'm not jumping to Bondo's picks yet, but I pick the Bears every week because I'm a Bear fan. But I feel pretty good about this coming up. I really do. I felt pretty good last week with Green Bay. I didn't think they'd win, but I thought they'd cover, and they did.
They should have won, though.
They should have won. But
And I'm going to go to my next point here, but John, if you wouldn't mind grabbing the bottle right there of larceny and just
sure, buddy.
Bring it right here because I got to pour another glass for you to bottom. That's
You know,
one key stat I want to bring out though about the Bears offense itself though. So you've got obviously DJ Moore going to be on this team for a long time. Currently under Roma Dunze's total yards in this offense. We've got Roma Dunze with 479 to DJ Moore's 460.
Wow.
Will this be Roma Dunze's team moving forward? Because it seems like the Caleb connection with him is going a lot better with DJ compared to Fields and DJ.
I think it could be going forward X tomorrow. That Vikings D is fast.
That's
they
true.
blitz, they stunt. First play of last week's game, they blitzed their corner. First play of the game.
And that's where you mentioned get the ball out.
These guys are lightning fast.
You need to do that.
The Vikings D is solid. It's going to be a check down game. Hopefully not death by 1,000 cuts. Ugh.
And they got,
I'm excited.
Who was their edge rusher they drafted? The guy from Alabama, right?
Yeah.
What was his
Forgot
name?
his name, but hold on, we're not doing our homework.
They took
here.
him over
They
us.
lost Hunter. And then
Yes,
they got
yes.
him.
John brought up a good point there.
Yeah.
They took
He got a lot of trouble at the end of the year, remember?
Yes. God, good point, John. You did your homework. He did his homework, unlike somebody here.
Yeah, the Bears passing defense at number 9. I did not know he'd know that off the top of his head. That was good.
It's a good guess. But, you know, again, it's I think the Bears are going to really step up. I think, again, the only danger here is if they win, you know, Eberflus will be around, but he's not going to make it till the end of the
He's
year.
around regardless,
No,
right?
so that's
no.
the
Worst
issue.
winning
No,
percentage.
In season, he's around.
Bondo, that's what's the issue. The Bears never fire head coach. And
That's
they're going
right.
to stick to that philosophy.
Right,
They
right.
got rid of Waldron, so they're going to keep him through hell or high water, and then they'll move on from him this year. A lot of people are complaining, though. Harbaugh was on the market, and that just made so much Chicago sense to do. And look what he's doing with the Chargers. That is a team that when they traded Mike Williams and Keenan Allen, they're like, okay, it's a rebuilding year. They're sitting at 7-3.
7-3.
That should be a coach of the Bears.
Yeah.
Someone who can get these games. Look at the Cincinnati game, for example, with him. They were about to lose that game against Cincy, and he held them together, and that's what Eberflus can't do. And that's exactly what you saw in the Bears game. So that's my problem with you can't have Eberflus. If you want to step down and be defensive coordinator, that's fine by me, but he cannot be the head coach.
No.
Your thoughts on that, guys?
You're fast forwarding to my keys of the game.
Ooh.
Stepping on your toes a little bit
Oh,
here.
boy.
One of those is keeping him out of the headlines. Keep Flus out of the news. Keep him out of the game. Let the Bears run it. I mean, look at their special teams coach, that Hightower. He took ownership of that Cairo missed field goal when he didn't have to do that. Should he have been on the right hash? Of course he should have. But he took charge of it. That's his baby. He's the coach. It ends and stops with him.
Well, and I think Eberflus lost the media after the Washington game when he was, saying, I don't think we needed a timeout.
Yeah,
I don't.
right.
It's always excuses.
It's always
and
an
to your
excuse.
point, Hightower making it just, hey, that's on me.
A special teams coordinator saying that.
And that's what you need.
Nut up, man. Yeah.
Not up. That's good. Again, but I still feel it's not fair to Williams. It's not fair to the team. I know they like Eberflus, and they keep saying they do, but and John mentioned
it's getting a lot less than they
How
like
come you didn't
him.
get me a coaster here?
Sorry.
Okay, well, this table
Bad hospitality. Come on.
This table's older than you.
This is
But
nice. I like this.
but here's a little more. I know you like the brown stuff.
Are we
but-
pouring yet or for the picks?
I'm
I think you can pour now.
What's protocol? I
Yeah,
don't want to break protocol here,
Well,
boys.
don't worry about it. You already
Okay.
did. No, but I again, going back to this, we're Bear fans. We're used to this. I just hope Williams is going to be our quarterback in the future. I know people are calling for the backup, but I don't think that's a good move.
So Bondo, you're at 100 degrees right now. I'm seeing the sweat come down your head right now. So I don't want to take too much longer, but I want to bring up one more point though,
Yeah,
about
go,
just the
go.
NFC North as a whole. So the NFC North, I still think, even if the Bears are under 500, is the best division in football, hands down. And it's going to be this gauntlet. And if we would have beat Green Bay, my God, it would have just made it so much better. The Lions, though, look unstoppable. If you've seen them in the past, I think it's been the past 3 games, they've been winning double digits every game.
19.9 points a game. I got it down to
The
my stats.
Jaguars literally, there was a scoregami, which hasn't happened yet, which is crazy. It was 6-52, which is unbelievable. Even if we were good this year, there's no chance we would have beat Detroit, in my mind, in the playoffs.
Goff had more touchdowns
than
than incompletions in the last 2 games.
And he had a perfect game. He had a
perfect game.
perfect game.
You got to put up 30 points against that team, and if you're talking about the Bears only, they cannot do it right now.
So that's where the one silver lining I find, though, is like this wasn't going to be our year because Detroit was too good. I mean, the AFC, I think their top teams, Buffalo, Kansas City, and the Ravens, I think, we couldn't beat them on paper.
No.
So even if we don't make the playoffs this year, it's still like, hey, see what you get out of Caleb, and then build a line around him, build the trenches with all of your picks next year. I will die on that hill. Do not draft anything but linemen, defensive and offensive, and you will have a good team that can compete next year.
Well, we talked about that last week, and again, look at Philly.
Yep.
Look at the Chargers. How do they build? They build within line, both lines.
Got rid of all their receivers. I love it.
I mean, your running backs, that's always been. Although, Derrick Henry has made a world of difference, I think. But a couple of good running backs. But every other, it's not a rare commodity in the NFL the last 10 years is running backs. So, wide receivers, amazing. They're getting better and better. But field goal kickers, incredibly better. But we got to work on both offense and defensive line.
Every piece goes there. And Carolina might not even be the 33rd overall pick, and I thought that would be for sure. Like, they've got a couple wins run off. Right. I don't know what's going to happen there.
Oh, that's.
But still, you're going to get a center in that pick, I think, for sure. And even the Bears, let's say, where they draft 42nd or something like that, you have a good place to get linemen.
Right. We both agree to that. But before we get into Bondo's bets, we're going to let John pick one game, and it's not part of my record. Just remember that.
Oh, we got Mike's picks.
Yeah, well, Mike, you tear that down.
How come Mike got 3 and I get 1?
You're gonna have 3. You're gonna have 3.
That's okay. I'll take 1.
But if you win, you might come back for.
Am I invited back?
You're always invited.
Okay, I'll be back.
You actually better good. You use your stats better than Bondo. I love it.
No. He's reading off my sheet over
Bondo's in the middle of a heat stroke, so we gotta be careful on our time here.
Chicken scratch. No one can read that. All right, my key takeaways tomorrow. Keep Eberflus out of the news, right? Keep him out of it. Keep Caleb off his back. And that Bears secondary has got to step up. Put JJ to shame. Let him run the ball. Let's step up. 2017 Bears.
Wow.
Low scoring. Wind's going to be an issue.
So you hear that? He picked the Bears and the under. Holy mackerel. He's stealing Bondo's thunder again.
Wait a minute. You took them? You copying off me?
No, I got it.
He copied his homework.
He's looking at all my picks.
2017 Bears.
Are you ready for Bondo's bets? I
Oh,
know that.
We're ready.
I'm the star of the show, and I do.
Bets.
Everybody watches this because of me. And look at my record here. Look at that. 37 and 23.
So technically, it's 39 and 25 and 1.
Well, technically, but you've never been a technician. So here's Bondo's bets. I know you're dying for him. We're going Indy plus 7.5. I like that one. I like that. You gotta run into the Kansas City. The Bears plus 3.5. I do like the under. 39.5. Tampa Bay, book it. The Giants are done. The Giants make
Tommy DeVito's coming out.
Tommy DeVito.
He's
got mob ties. He's got a lot of stuff going on right now.
We'll see about that.
Did D. Jones land somewhere yet or not?
No, he's just
they just let him go.
For practice safety, if they saw that article. Practice squad safety. Oh, my God. Slap him in the face.
Philly, -3. Come on, guys. Philly, -3. And Baltimore. Watch Baltimore this week. They're gonna take it to the Chargers.
Who's Philly got?
I forgot.
Doesn't even know his own bets.
No, I do know. I just didn't. I didn't bring my other sheet because you made me rush.
Doesn't have the cheat sheet.
Yeah,
well, those are Bondo's bets, and that's all the time we have on the Bourbon Bear today. We don't want Bondo to overheat, so bear down, need a win, stay relevant, Bears.
Rawr! Rawr! Did good.